Welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex. Today we're looking at a paper from the Hugging Face trending list, published on September 23, 2025, about 5 days ago. The standout result is a clear energy spread across open text-to-video systems. Animate Diff uses approximately 0.14 watt-hours per video, while WAN 2.1 T2 volts 14B consumes approximately 415 watt-hours, roughly 3,000 times more. The paper is titled, Video Killed the Energy Budget, Characterizing the Latency and Power Regimes of Open Text-to-Video Models. And as we will see later, the implications for deployment are significant. Beyond that, this paper proves quadratic costs in resolution and frames, linear costs in denoising steps, and shows GPU energy dominates. Alright, the intro highlighted huge energy gaps across systems. Figure 1 shows the simplified pipeline that drives those costs, which runs denoising steps through a large DIT and then decodes to pixels. The left panel embeds text, and a time step MLP injects the current step. The central DIT repeats self-attention, cross-attention, and FFN blocks S times, so compute scales, with token count. The right panel upsamples with a VAE to produce the final video. So the previous figure outlined the pipeline. Table 1 summarizes where floating point operations accumulate, splitting costs into once per video and per denoising step blocks. The once per video part covers the T5 text encoder plus VAE decoder convolutions and a middle attention stage. The per step part includes DIT self-attention, cross-attention, the feed-forward MLP, and a time step MLP, multiplied by G and S. These per step DIT terms dominate because they scale with token length and layer count. Okay. Table 1 had quantified where compute piles up per step. Figure 4 shows energy and latency versus denoising steps, with stacked operator areas and practice points that align closely. Both metrics grow linearly with step count because each step repeats the same transformer layers. The left panel charts GPU energy, dominated by self-attention, while VAE and the text encoder contribute little. The right panel reports duration, which rises at the same steady rate. So, while Figure 4 showed linear step scaling, Figure 2 presents resolution scaling with two panels for energy and duration. The stacked areas indicate theory and the dots show practice, which align closely and curve upward quadratically as resolution rises. Self-attention dominates the cost, with MLP next, and VAE plus the text encoder remaining small. Minor gaps appear at the highest resolutions, but the quadratic trend holds across the range. So while Figure 2 confirmed quadratic growth with resolution, Figure 3 shows the same pattern as frame count increases. The figure presents stacked theory by operator with practice points, and both energy and duration climb quadratically with frames because attention cost grows with the number of tokens. The left panel charts GPU energy, dominated by self-attention in the DIT, with MLP next and VAE plus text encoder remaining small. The right panel mirrors this for latency, where the practice dots track the dashed theory curve closely. Alright, Figure 5 compares models head-to-head. The left panel shows GPU energy per video, where Animate Diff sits near 0.14 watt-hours, while WAN 2.1 T2 volts 14B exceeds 415 watt-hours, a roughly 3,000 times gap. The right panel reports latency, ranging from under a second to about 1,900 seconds. The bottom row summarizes energy shares, which remain GPU heavy at over 80% across systems. Alright, two takeaways stand out. Costs grow quadratically with resolution and frames, and linearly with denoising steps, which makes transformer compute and GPU energy dominate. The broader implication is practical. Constrain output size and step count, and push optimizations like step pruning, diffusion caching, and quantization to cut energy and latency. Thanks for tuning in. That's it for this episode of the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex. Thanks for listening.